love it, especially for women. Listen, they've always played great. They've always played hard. I'm glad they're getting the exposure they definitely deserve. Now we just got to get them similar contracts. And the way she plays the game, she's the true definition of a great player, one that makes the players around her better. You know, not only was she making a great shot, she was making great passes, and you know, she took her loss with humility. Caitlin Clark is a special player. She reminds me of a Steph Curry. You know, a lot of times she takes those ill-advised shots that me and Chuck don't like, but they go in. Not only do they go in consistently.
Shaq thought he had it all figured out. Angel Reese was his pick for Rookie of the Year. But then Caitlin Clark stepped onto the court and flipped the script. What did Clark do that made even the Big Diesel change his tune? Let's talk about Clark's jaw-dropping start. She's not just playing well, she's making history. Clark became the first player ever in the WNBA to rack up 15-plus points and 13-plus assists in 3 straight games. That's right, no one's ever done that before, not even the legends of the game. But here's the thing, Clark wasn't always the favorite. People were worried about her high turnover rate. Could she handle the pressure of the big leagues? She's answering that question with every game she plays. Now, you might be wondering, what happens when Clark faces off against Reese? Get ready, because that showdown is coming up, and it's going to change everything. The ROTY race? It's about to explode. That showdown's about to get real, but hold up. What if I told you Angel Reese was breaking records before Clark even stepped on a WNBA court? There's a reason Shaq was singing her praises early on. Reese didn't just enter the league, she exploded onto the scene, averaging 13.5 points and a mind-blowing 11.9 rebounds per game. That's not just good, that's rookie phenom territory. But wait, it gets better. Reese didn't just put up big numbers, she shattered records. She racked up 15 consecutive double-doubles, smashing Candace Parker's previous mark, and she didn't stop there. Reese leads the entire WNBA with 17 total double-doubles. That's not just impressive, it's historic. You might be wondering what made Reese such a rebounding machine. Well, she's not just grabbing any rebounds. Reese is dominating the offensive glass, pulling down an average of 4.7 offensive boards per game. That's more than some entire teams manage. It's this kind of game-changing ability that had Shaq backing her for Rookie of the Year. Remember when Shaq said, "I'm not saying this because Reese went to LSU, but I think she's definitely leading in the Rookie of the Year race." That wasn't just hype. Shaq saw what we all saw. A rookie changing the game every time she stepped on the court. Now, Reese isn't perfect. Her shooting percentage on 2-pointers is sitting at 40.4%, below the league average of 49%. But when you're grabbing that many offensive rebounds, you get a lot more chances to score. Here's where things get really interesting. The Clark versus Reese rivalry isn't just changing the ROTY race, it's changing the entire WNBA. ESPN's Ryan Rocco put it best when he said, "These two players came into the pros with unprecedented followings, and they both have delivered in huge ways on the floor. Fans are tuning in like never before, just to see these two rookies go at it. And it's not just the fans, the whole league is buzzing." Clark and Reese aren't just living up to the hype, they're exceeding it. Every game, every matchup feels like must-see TV. It's like nothing we've ever seen in WNBA history. Then came the night that shook the WNBA to its core. Picture this, a career-high performance, a playoff race hanging in the balance, and a debate that seemed settled until it wasn't. How did Caitlin Clark pull off the impossible and force even the biggest doubters to eat their words? The stage was set for an epic showdown between Clark's Indiana Fever and Reese's Chicago Sky. This wasn't just any game, it was a battle for playoff positioning and a chance to make a statement in the Rookie of the Year race.
Offensive possessions, 2 buckets for the Fever. Caitlin Clark for 3, rattles it. Kenley working it around here for the Fever. Good ball movement on this possession. Logo shot, logo make for Clark. A 6 for the Fever. The Sky shooting 38%. Caitlin Clark, another 3-pointer.
The tension was palpable, and fans were glued to their screens, knowing they were about to witness something special. Clark didn't just show up, she dominated. She lit up the scoreboard with a career-high 31 points, but that's not even the most impressive part. She dished out 12 assists, creating opportunities for her teammates left and right. It was like watching a master conductor lead an orchestra with every play perfectly timed and executed. But let's talk about those 3-pointers. Clark was raining threes like it was nothing, each one more clutch than the last. And when she wasn't scoring herself, she was setting up her teammates with pinpoint passes that left the Sky's defense scrambling. The Fever rode Clark's stellar performance to victory. edging out the Sky in a game that had huge playoff implications. With this win, Indiana leapfrogged Chicago in the standings, putting them in prime position for a postseason run. And who was at the center of it all? You guessed it, Caitlin Clark. Now, you might be thinking, what about Angel Reese? Don't worry, we didn't forget about her. Reese put up an impressive performance of her own, notching her 23rd double-double of the season. That's a record for a WNBA rookie, and it shows just how fierce this rivalry really is. But here's the thing. Clark's game wasn't just about the numbers. It was about rising to the occasion when it mattered most. It was about proving that she could lead her team to victory against tough competition. And it was about showing the world that she's not just a rookie sensation, she's a bona fide star. This game changed everything. Suddenly, all those doubters who thought Clark couldn't handle the pressure of the WNBA were silent. Even Shaq, who had been firmly in Reese's corner, had to take notice. The Rookie of the Year debate that seemed all but settled was blown wide open. As the dust settles on Clark's game-changing performance, a new mystery unfolds. What hidden factor in her journey might be the key to unlocking the WNBA's next era of popularity? You might think it's all about the numbers, but Clark's impact goes way deeper than stats. Sure, she's breaking records left and right, but there's something else that's got everyone talking. It's not just about how she plays, it's about who she is and what she represents. Remember when everyone was calling her the female Steph Curry? Clark didn't just accept that label. She took it and ran with it, creating her own unique identity in the league. She's not trying to be the next anyone. She's busy being the first Caitlin Clark. But here's what's really turning heads. Clark's not all about the personal glory. She's all in on team success. When asked about individual awards, Clark shut that down quick. She said, "You don't wake up and think about individual awards. Our focus is on winning basketball games." That's the kind of attitude that's winning over fans and players alike. And let's talk about those fans for a second. The Clark versus Reese rivalry is not just exciting, it's changing the game. ESPN commentators are calling it a compelling narrative for the league. More eyes on the screen mean more butts in the seats, and that's exactly what the WNBA needs. But Clark's not just boosting viewership, she's boosting the whole league's profile. We're talking a $2.2 billion media deal with big names like ESPN and Amazon. That's game-changing money, and it's partly thanks to the buzz Clark's creating. You want to know how much of an impact Clark's having? Just look at the betting odds. She went from underdog to heavy favorite for Rookie of the Year. That's not just a shift in opinion, that's a whole new ball game. But here's the real kicker. Clark's not just changing the league. She's inspiring a whole new generation of players. Young ballers are looking at her and thinking, if she can do it, so can I. That's the kind of impact that goes beyond stats, beyond awards, beyond even the game itself. Think about it. Over 50% of the Indiana Fever's offensive production comes from Clark's points and assists. She's not just part of the team. She is the team, and she's doing it all with a smile on her face and a fire in her eyes that's lighting up the whole league. From underdog to superstar, Caitlin Clark's journey is the stuff of legends. She didn't just prove the doubters wrong, she shattered expectations. Remember when people worried about her turnovers? Now they're too busy watching her break records. But Clark's story isn't just about numbers. It's about heart, grit, and changing the game. She's not just winning on the court, she's winning over fans and inspiring a new generation of ballers. Think about this. Clark's not just changing the WNBA, she's shaping its future. With every game, every assist, every clutch three-pointer, she's writing a new chapter in women's basketball history. And here's the kicker, she's just getting started. The WNBA's never seen anything like Caitlin Clark, and something tells me we're in for one wild ride.